Increasingly, I wake up feeling like, damn, they really had us fooled. We were really out here waiting to 65 to retire. Like, we were really out here about to work for the rest of our lives. And it's cruel when you think about it. Like, the best years of my life, I'm gonna spend, whew, what, 12 hours of my day? Wake up, 7 hours to get ready, leave home 8, get to work for 9. You work. Get off at like 5, 6, takes an hour to get home, 7. So 12 hours of your day you spend in this work bubble, in this headspace of work, pretty much. And I feel like the thing we don't always think about is the fact that we working for somebody. Like, even if your company is multinational or a conglomerate or whatever, huge company, you're still working for somebody and their family. You are making them boatloads of money. And I see a problem with that. We all have something to contribute to society. And I do think that school, work, all of these things kind of help you find that niche, develop knacks, build a network. Honestly, I went to college. Well, long story. I ran to NYU after being in prep school up in Boston, and I graduated with what, like a 3.4 something. But school wasn't my top priority. Like, my friends always made fun of the fact that, like, when they were either leaving to go home, I was coming to class, or when they were coming to class, I was leaving to go home. Like, I was just always in motion. I was working, interning, volunteering, going to shows, networking. Like, I was doing everything else. I used college to build something else, to build myself. It was never to get some kind of job. That was the expectation, of course. It didn't work out that way, but the expectation was always to get that job that was going to set you up, your retirement, your livelihood for the next however many years, or until you want to switch to another job. More of the story is just get ready to be a cog in the machine for the majority of your life. And I'm so grateful. I'm so glad that now that I am entering my good years, I ain't there yet. I know better. I know older folks on the internet be like, girl, you ain't started living yet. I know. Trust me, I know. I'm looking forward to living. I'm just glad the jig is up and we are here to live our best lives. There are so many communities online right now that are growing in popularity just because they say things that people have been afraid to say. People have felt ashamed to say. People don't have anyone in their lives who understand. And that's pretty much fuck your job. I remember years ago watching another YouTuber who said she no longer wants to climb the corporate ladder. And I didn't get it at the time. I was like, so what's the point of being in corporate if you don't want to move up? I get it now. Don't get me wrong. I am very good at what I do. I'm confident. I'm a good teammate. But I'm just not into playing the game. Like, I can't fake the funk with y'all. It's like I kind of cringe when my manager asks questions like if you want to ask me my 5-year plan, people need to stop asking people that on interviews because you're gonna get lies. If you want somebody to sell you a lie, ask them that on a job interview. Like, what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Especially if you're asking a millennial, where I see myself in 5 years is not at this company. I mean, most millennials are like, no, I'm getting to the money. I use the anecdote over and over again. Like, if you had told me November 2019 that I would be driving down to Charlotte, moving to Charlotte in November 2020, I'd be like, I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense. Who told you that? Why would you think that? So I can't make any predictions necessarily about my future, but what I will say, or slash what I won't tell you, is that I am manifesting my way out of this corporate job. I have worked with people that like didn't have zero leadership skills. They had negative leadership skills. Like, you didn't have no business being in charge of nobody. But the job I currently have, the job that I manifested, was right on time. It was when I had reached my breaking point at a job where I was emotionally abused. I was harassed by a manager, and HR didn't really want to do anything. His boss didn't really want to do anything because naturally they were best friends. Folks who would always, go out, do their Spartan races and whatever else they used to do on the weekends, who cares? Yeah, it was then I was like, oh, hmm. As if I didn't know that Black women were on our damn own in corporate America. That just amplified that by the actions of these two white women who had the power to do something but chose not to. How is that company doing today? The last I heard of them in the news, which is like weird because it's not a high profile brand, but they've been making headlines over the last year with some embarrassing stuff. Like, y'all are messy. And I'm not gonna revel in that because there are still good people working at that company, but y'all have a lot of cleaning up to do. And that's a lot of companies in corporate America, that they are not an anomaly. So while I have dealt with a lot of abuse at the hand of like corporate leaders, so to speak, and I know how it feels intimately, I understand it. I got a good kiki out of the whole Twitter Elon Musk debacle that happened at the end of 2022. That whole entrenched tech mindset that like you work, you work, you work, you work, and you make this great salary. Burnout is common, and you earn your stripes by who stays the latest and who brings their laptop home. And it's all so corny. It's so dated, guys. And the fact that folks are sitting around at Twitter to this day, still in that job with that megalomaniac because they don't know what to do next. They don't know where to go. Like, they have completely lost their way. At the very least, you can take your experience and just the brand name recognition. You can be making copies at Twitter, and any company on this planet will hire you. I think I read a statistic recently that like 70 to 80% of folks who like lost their jobs in those tech layoffs at the end of 2022, they pretty much already found a new job. You're good, you're golden, but folks just have this scarcity mindset where they're afraid to leave this toxic environment. Makes you think like, where else in your life are you selling yourself short? I don't know. They have low corporate self-worth. I don't know what it is. I mean, the other side of it is that whoever is still there, NDA or not, I know he probably gave him some NDAs to sign, and boo boo, musky boo, like that's not gonna do it. Because folks are right now sending emails to their house, photocopying stuff. They are writing treatments. They about to sell their stuff to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all kinds of limited series, films. This whole story is gonna be in Sundance in a couple of years. Like, folks are about to cash in on this foolishness. But we're not going to waste time on boneheaded bosses or anything like that because we're here for solutions. If you want to retain employees, how do you do that? Work from home is a good start. If that is not an available option, then I would say it's about time we start to acknowledge the possibility of a 4-day work week. I understand why you don't want a 4-day work week, because if you give folks just one more day where they can just get a little bit still, sit still, have some time with themselves, a lot more folks are going to realize, actually, this job ain't working. Actually, there's a calling on my life. I'm out. I remember my mom used to say, when it came to jobs, job searching. She, you know, she's from a different time, a different generation. She'd always say, take what you can until you can get what you want. No, we don't do that anymore. Now it's take what you want until you figure out what you really want and then go and get that. That's what we're doing now. And as someone who's been a career freelancer, a career contractor, someone who has always been a consultant, I got to tell you, there are jobs out there. There are so many jobs. If you are intimidated to go out and do it on your own, there are agencies that you can hook up with. Um, I very early on developed the mindset that like jobs are like buses, another one is always coming. So when 2020 hit, I knew what's next. Let's get on that next bus. I feel like more or less we've come to the realization that corporate America is very rarely a meritocracy. So many leaders lack the emotional intelligence to lead anybody. I mean, if you're going to promote your boneheaded friends, invest in management leadership training so they don't alienate all of the talent that you've worked so hard to cultivate. Abusive supervisors, mediocre wages, and intimidating cultures have created an environment where nobody wants to be bothered with corporate America anymore. And they have nobody to blame but themselves. Corporate America, I hate to tell you, but still got quite a bit of work to do. The veil is only going to continue to lift.